Hey guys, BTR Plumbing here, and today I'm here with my, I believe it's a 1997 TOTO Carusoe, and by that I mean I'm just a little bit unsure of the date, but I've seen a lot of these toilets on YouTube from 1997, so I'm assuming it is, but the date in the tank, if it is the date, seems a little bit weird, and there is a helicopter going over the house, so I apologize about the noise. I got this toilet at a plumbing store in Houston. I was actually with OCC Plumbing and Restorations when we got it. So here's the TOTO logo. And one thing that's interesting about this toilet, I do not know if TOTO did this intentionally or if this is just how the design came out, but the mouth of the trapway looks large, but don't let that fool you. If you look down from the front angle, it looks big too. When there's no water, it looks even bigger. But as y'all can see, this space is empty space. That is not part of the trapway. So even though it looks very large, it's not. It gets pretty narrow around here. So again, I don't know if TOTO just did that to make the toilet look like it would perform better by making the mouth of the trapway larger, but I don't know if I can get enough water out of the trapway to show y'all, but yeah, I think there's still too much water in there, but you can kind of see it, that lip at the top. Right about here, it kind of goes down before it goes up. So even though the trapway looks large, it's really not as big as it seems. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fill up the bowl a little bit here. The nice thing about this toilet as well is it doesn't need a refill tube to fill up the bowl. So as y'all can see, I just flushed it a little bit to let water come in, and it is still trickling because this is just a front flusher toilet, so all the water just kind of sits in the rim. So that's a plus, as because I don't need a refill tube, so I just stuck it on the outside of the overflow tube. And here's what I believe the date is. Obviously it says 2484, which doesn't even exist, but right here it says 1997, so I'm assuming that's the date. So and there really isn't much underneath the lid either. My hand's kind of wet, so I don't really want to pick it up with one hand and drop it. So alrighty, and this handle is obviously not original, some cheap plastic handle, but enough talking. Here is a flush. So even though the water level is very low, as y'all can see, it's just gonna slowly refill back up to the water line, which is nice. And man, there's some mosquitoes out. Keep getting bit. I should have put on some bug spray, but I guess I can't even, I don't even know where it's at. But the tank is almost full, and like I said, it fills pretty quickly just because the refill tube is in the outside of the overflow tube, if that makes sense. They kind of sound the same, but the refill tube and the overflow tube are completely different things. But here is another flush. Either the rim jet under here is defective or it's clogged. I don't know what's causing it to kind of splash out like that. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I believe it is that rim jet right there, because as y'all can see, the water shooting sideways. So I don't know if that's just a defect or if there's something clogging the rim. Either way, I'm not too worried about it, as it doesn't splash or make a mess or anything like that. So, and as y'all know, I'm not really a huge fan of front flushers, but this one's kind of interesting. So again, I find it interesting just because of the giant trapway opening, but again, it gets super small as it goes up in there. So I really don't even know how this will do with performance tests, but here is another flush. Let's see if I can get a good angle here. Okay, here we go. Overall, this thing has a pretty decent flush. I think it'll do pretty well with bowl rinse. Obviously it's a front flusher, so all the water goes straight to the rim. I don't know if stuff will stick to it because this part here is very smooth, but down here where the water line is, it feels like really rough sandpaper. So I feel like stuff would stick to that. I'm not really gonna waste my time cleaning this toilet up because in my opinion, it's not worth restoring. I mean, it's already pretty clean. I'm not gonna be selling it or anything like that. So to me, it doesn't even really matter if it's a little bit dirty, but here is another flush. I also got one of these at the same plumbing store, but round, but it has a slightly smaller trapway opening, and I think it's a TOTO Aquia. I don't know for sure, but it's basically just a round Carusoe with a slightly different trapway opening, and it has more of like a dent in the bowl where the water spot is. But other than that, there really isn't much difference or much differences between the two. And it is a little bit dirty. I didn't really clean it up, so I apologize. But it wasn't gross, so I just decided, you know what, I'll just go ahead and film it the way it is. So, because this is pretty much the condition I found it in, and it did have a seat, I just took it off. So here's another flush. When it's siphoned, hopefully y'all could kind of see the lip that sticks down underneath the opening of the trapway. Again, it gets a lot more narrow than it looks, but overall, I'd say this toilet's okay. I don't really have too much of an opinion on it other than it probably does what it's supposed to. So yeah, I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, leave y'all's comments down below. And as always, I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.